Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hi! Hey! This is our final video in our financial series. So thank you guys for watching them if you did.
Absolutely, and if you didn't, just jump back and watch those ones first.
So in this video we are going to talk about our monthly breakdowns of expenses while living in the van. Because I know that that is a important topic, because if we are comparing living in a van to living in an apartment or a house somewhere, how do the expenses shake down, and do you really save money living in a van versus living elsewhere? I mean, obviously everybody's different. Everybody spends their money on different things and prioritizes different things, but this is how we spent our money, and we thought we'd share that with you.
Absolutely.
We're gonna look at 3 different months: January, February, and March. We'll talk briefly about April, but this pandemic has kind of thrown things for a loop. We're gonna start with our set expenses for each month. So these things don't change. Now, it's not our in total set expenses for our lives, because there are a couple things that fall outside of the van that we have.
But those are covered by other sources of income, or what do you want to say there?
Yeah, so like you have your photography business and you have some set expenses with that, like your business
Right.
insurance and things like that. We obviously have everything for our house that we have in the Philly suburbs, but we have renters that live in that pay all of our expenses for the house. There's just a couple of other random things that kind of fall outside of this. So our set expenses each month is just about $250, $252 a month. So that includes, we pay for Spotify every month, and then outside of that, we have insurance that we have to pay on our truck that is sitting at my parents' house, but we still own it, and my dad still drives it, so we have to pay insurance on it. We have personal property insurance, insurance for my ring is what that is.
Oh,
because
that's cute.
that's expensive. That we pay every month, so that's $10 a month. And then insurance for the van, we have through State Farm. They're the only company that I found. I just sneezed. It went away. Okay. They're the only company that I found that would insure the van in its condition. I don't really want to get too deep into insurance. All I know is that I called 5 or 6 different companies, and State Farm was the only one that would insure our van in its current state. So given that we live full time in it, that we added a lot of modifications and custom build to it, and that we did not have professional licensed RV outfitters build our van. If something happens to the van, they will cover the cost of the van and the cost that we put into building the van, and that's $150 a month.
Yeah.
Now we are going to get into the different categories and what we spent each month. So in January, we lived in our van pretty much the entire month of January. We set out the first week and went from New Jersey all the way down to Miami, all the way over to Austin. So we did a lot of driving that month, and we spent almost $570 on gas in January. In groceries, we spent about $330. Coffee shops, we spent $12 because Jess is so wonderful, and we buy cold brew in the grocery store for you, so that goes into the grocery fund. Eating out, we spent $70. Experiences, we spent $100 and change.
What are experiences?
I don't remember what we experienced in January.
I guess that would be like going to a museum or like
an
art show or something like that.
Yeah.
Something with a cover fee.
Yeah.
What did we do in January?
Anyway, van interior. So we spent $310 on the van interior in January, and this was the first month that we lived in the van, so we needed a lot of things, plates and glasses and silverware and everything to fill our kitchen. We bought some Rubbermaid bins,
baskets and bins.
Baskets, just like all of those things, which add up really quick. Yeah. We bought our rug. I think the rug went into that. Too, so some a little bit more expensive things.
Can we start putting plants in that category?
Okay, sure. Maintenance in January, we spent $40. That was mostly to fix the leak that we had from our water system, so we had to buy a couple things to do that. We spent $3.50 on parking in Miami. $3.50. We had to pay to park one time in Miami.
For an hour.
Oh, so annoying. Anyway. Miscellaneous, I don't really know what goes into that. Obviously, it's things that I don't think fit in any other category. We spent $16 on that. So our total expenses for January, this includes our set expenses and all the categories that we just talked about. Total expenses for January, $1,715.
Okay, and that's everything we spent in January. That's comprehensive. So February. In February, we were in Austin, Texas for the entire month of February, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We had the same set expenses in February, $250, and in February, we spent $79 on gas.
Woo! I think we filled up three times.
Yeah, I don't know. Gas is cheap,
times.
and we didn't travel, and it was so nice because gas is usually our biggest expense.
Yeah, because we spent almost $570 the month before, and we got to Austin, and we were like, we need to stop spending money on gas.
Yes. Instead, we spent our money on farmers market cheese.
Yes.
Our grocery bill from February was $295.
Yeah, which is less than it was in January, but you'll see that our eating out category was a lot more than January.
Yeah, well, in Austin, we went to Austin to experience it, so we spent a little bit more there.
Yeah.
Coffee shops were just $15. Again, didn't go too hard at coffee shops. Eating out was $254, which, gosh... But we had things to do. We had to go tasting for our wedding. We had to try a lot of cocktails and ciders. There's a lot of,
Yeah, and we figured since we were saving so much on gas.
Exactly. We spent it elsewhere.
We did. We didn't really save that much in total.
We spent $218 on experiences, which I think was entirely our gym bills, the rock climbing gym.
We both had memberships at the rock gym that month.
Yep. For the van interior, we spent about $25, so just buying a couple extra things. Maintenance, another $21.
Got no idea where that was for.
Parking, another $3.50 for parking, $3.50.
We're really trying to get a zero there, but...
We hate paying for parking. And miscellaneous, we spent $182 in a miscellaneous category. $182.
I feel like 100 of that was for something specific.
Like wedding related?
No. Yeah, wedding expenses are not in this. Just so everyone is clear.
We do not need to skew this for everyone else living van life.
Yeah.
Not getting married.
No, I don't know.
That brings our total to $1,347 for the month of February.
Yeah, so...
Not too bad.
Yeah, so, I mean, almost $400 less than the month of January. So that was a good trend. Good trend.
Yeah, let's keep with that.
Moving on to March. So this is the last month that we're going to talk about. We spent $335 on gas in March. And that's because in March we drove from Austin, Texas, back over to Tallahassee, Florida, and then up to New Jersey. And the reason that we had to do that was because of this pandemic. So we came back the third week in March. So our figures are a little bit skewed because we came back to my parents' house then. So on groceries, we spent $315. We spent $50 on coffee shops in March. Went to coffee shops more, I guess.
Yeah, because when we were in Austin, I was like, I really want this oat milk vanilla cinnamon latte.
Oh,
and
yeah, that
gonna
happened
be
like
here.
4 times, and it was like $10 a time.
Yeah, it was expensive when you start adding all the extra stuff.
Yep. We only spent $160 eating out, so that was good. We felt like we went a little bit crazy in February in that category, so we tried to restrict ourselves just a little bit. We spent $140 on experiences. $100 of that is the gym membership. However, because of the pandemic, I get to use that again when we go back to Austin, hopefully in the fall, and won't have to pay for it then.
Yes.
We got lots of zeros. This is a good one. Nothing on van interior, nothing on maintenance, nothing on parking, nothing on miscellaneous.
Basically, we're set in here now. It's perfect. We're not changing it.
Crushed it. We spent $1,260 for the month of March. Again, a little bit skewed because once we came back here, just living in my parents' house, and Mildred gets the groceries and all the great things.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about April because we were really fortunate and didn't have to spend a lot of money in April, but we're not living van life really right now. For these 3 months, it seems like what's an average, like $1,500,
Mm-hmm.
and that includes our first month, which I think, lots of things went wrong.
Yeah, there were some things that needed adjusting.
Yeah,
for
so that's pretty good. So comparably, we had talked about what we spent like living in our house before this. Was we had a mortgage, we had our utility bills, we still had our insurance, we had
you still had a gym membership.
Yeah,
and
and then
those
all
sorts
the
of
things
things,
that we have just talked about.
Yeah.
Groceries, coffee shops, eating out, all of this.
We still had the truck insurance. We still had.
Yeah. So, we were spending... We didn't budget or, keep track of our lives to this regard when we were living there. But our set expenses for our house were at least... $1,200?
I would say more like 14, probably. If you include all of the set expenses,
Internet,
like your gym membership and the truck insurance.
Yeah, our set expenses living in our house were at least $1,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't include anything else. It's just set expenses.
Yeah, it doesn't include food or gas or plants or coffee.
Yeah.
It's less expensive for us to live on the road, definitely, than it is to live in our house.
Yes, for us.
Us.
Yeah, for us it's definitely less expensive to live on the road. Hopefully that gives a little bit of insight, I guess, into what van life really looks like financially.
I think a few ways that we could make it more achievable, a little bit cheaper for us, like I said, would be to stay in one place for a little bit longer. When we were in Austin, we did a great job saving money on gas. I would also say, buy your own groceries, cook your own food.
Yeah.
Which is something we try and do anyway.
And again, just everybody's so different. Because you could buy, rice and beans for a month and spend a fraction of what we spend on groceries. And again, as far as saving money on gas, you live in a van. So the point of living in a van is that you can go anywhere. So, trying to just kind of
find a balance.
Yeah, find a balance and be okay with spending money on gas when that's what our biggest expense. We're still spending far less than we do on a mortgage on gas, every month. So just trying to justify those things. And I think especially, neither of us have full-time dependable income right now. So, if we did, and if someone's in a position where they do have that and they're able to work remotely, I think it's definitely attainable as far as monthly expenses go. You have an upfront cost with the van, but there are options for that as well.
There you have it.
Yeah, there you have it. I hope that this was helpful. As always, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. We do our best to answer those. If you haven't watched our other videos from our financial series, go back and check those out. We talk about how much the van cost, how much we spent building it out, how we afforded that, how we're making money now, and both on YouTube and through other means. And I think that's it.
Yep.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you guys for watching.
Great. Yes, thank you so much. How's my hair look?
Your hair looks really good today.
Oh, thank you. So utilities fluctuate, but they're, pretty reliable in an estimate. So I don't know what that sentence was. Anyway, you definitely don't have the cheapest grocery bill.
We should talk about our vices.
Yeah, everybody spends their money in different ways.
Yeah.
Just because we don't have a lot of physical possessions and we don't spend our money on physical things doesn't mean that we don't spend our money on experiences or on getting our $12 a pound cheese from Trader Joe's.
That's true.
Yeah.